Now, having said that, I should quickly add, if you look around on the maps for the phosphorus levels around serpentine areas, this is what, over in Western Australia, this is what's so unusual. They talk about, the phosphorus sensitivity of the Australian floor and that, but we got these giant shields over there, and we got lots of greenbelt serpentine in areas. And when you look at the phosphorus levels, it basically says the phosphorus level is half agricultural normal, which is crazy. How can these plants have evolved to be phosphorus sensitive if the phosphorus level on vast tracts of land, I mean, how big southern Idl'ling is over in Western Australia over there, massive amounts of land, and it says designated as being half the normal agricultural level of phosphorus. I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, that's for so-called nutrient poor plants, half normal would be an absolute abundance, surely, especially if they've been adapted to extract it, sort of thing. It just seems crazy. So I mean, so it makes it leaves you scratching your head. There's something a bit odd about our ideas on phosphorus, sort of thing. So more work, I think, more work and less play, I think. So, but as I said, I think we've got some direction now. So I'm just itching to get into and try the copper, because we may get some blue plants or blue tiger striping on some of these weeds or something. And also the other angle is we may change the fluorescence. As I said, these weeds are able to have a magenta orange fluorescence. When we add copper, that may increase the fluorescence. It may actually change its wavelength of response, and therefore its colour, sort of thing. So, people overseas are shying away from copper and things like that, like the plague. Maybe they don't get fluorescence. Maybe that's the reason. So because we're the land with that's had the biggest copper mine that's ever existed on the planet. So if there's something that's evolved or adapted to copper, it certainly will have access to some copper in our landscape, I would think so, considering that in the southern Idl'ling we've had the biggest copper mine that's ever existed on the planet, and we're still putting in copper mines here. So, and that's again, it's the conundrum. What's the highest micronutrient found in most sphagnum peats and peats related and things like that? And it's copper. I mean, but there's this argument that the CPs don't like copper, and yet the one thing everyone tries to grow them in is peat and sand, and the highest micronutrient found in most sphagnum peats is copper. It's just one of those conundrums you've got to solve, fellas. So that's what I'm saying. I've got to go down the copper pathway. I mean, I've had so much almost instantaneous success doing this with the aluminium. And copper basically has roughly 1:1, almost has the same pH, sort of thing. One's a trivalent, one's a divalent, but then again, we might discover something new. 2 lots of 3 make 6. 3 lots of 2 make 6. You never know. Anyway, over and out for now. See ya.